Hey everyone, it's LaShonda from Labors of Love, and I'm here with another Therapy Thursday. I am currently looking out of my window, and autumn is here. Well, technically, we have a couple of more days, but I would love to talk a little bit about the wisdom that we can glean from the fall, from autumn. And I was just kind of reading about autumn. I know in elementary school, grade school, we learn about the seasons. My children are at a stage where they're learning about the seasons. And I was like, what if I just reintroduced myself to the seasons? And as I was reading about the fall, there were 4 themes that really stuck out to me that I think we can really lean into. We being all of us, being humanity. So I believe there's so much to learn in nature. I did not grow up as a particularly nature-y person. Definitely a city/suburban dweller. Did not spend a lot of time going on hikes or in forest or at the lake. Now, as I've gotten older, what I realize is whether it's the distance from those places or just the lack of familiarity, I don't have to go to the middle of the forest to appreciate nature. And I don't have to spend a whole lot of time away from the environments that I'm used to be able to notice what's happening around me and learn from nature. And so one of the things about fall that commonly is talked about when we talk about the wisdom of the seasons is letting go. We know that trees all around us are going to begin to let go of their leaves. And that's one of the biggest things. But as I look at letting go, I recognize that letting go is not always easy, because some of the things that we may be called to let go of are not things that are bad. They're things we like. They're things we appreciate. So the idea of letting go can be particularly challenging for some of us. I think more people have hoarder tendencies than are willing to admit it. So letting go is really hard. We begin to justify holding on to things by thinking about the amount of effort or time that we put into acquiring them, or how much money they cost, or one of my favorite, what if I need it later? Or, what if I get rid of it and then I need it? And so I'm just going to invite us into a space of abundance to say, if we need it in the future, we'll be able to acquire it again. Let's let go of some things. Now, this can be a whole manner of things. Purging, physically cleaning out spaces. It could be relationships. It can be beliefs and mindsets and belief systems and all of those things. But letting go is a major theme from autumn. But another theme that emerged for me was delighting in the details that come with this season. The color changes, the weather changes, just the details of change can be so overlooked because we're either still trying to hold on, right? Some of us who love warm weather are trying to hold on to the warmth of the summer season. Those of us who dread cold and winter are thinking ahead to how much we don't want to move into that season. And because we're spending so much time in the past and in the future, we're missing the present details that are so beautiful. So can we delight in the details of this season? And can we take that into our life? Can we actually take some time to look at the details that are surrounding our lives that we oftentimes truly just overlook and take for granted? Which segues to another point, which is let's actually practice embracing this, right? We won't be able to stop autumn from coming no matter how much we dislike it. But I feel like it's a totally different experience when we choose to lean in and embrace change than when we are fighting and wrestling with change. So what would it look like in your life if you were to just embrace change? Because it's coming, whether you like it or not. The experience we have with change, though, can be different based on our level of embracing. And I think one of the biggest things that I think about when I think about the fall is preparation for rest. When I think back to being elementary school kid and we did a lot with seasons as they were changing, I always thought about the squirrels and the bears. The squirrels running around gathering nuts. And it was never more prevalent for me than when I was in college, because being on the college campus, I went to the University of Michigan and we had squirrels. I promise it felt like the size of small cats, and they were audacious squirrels. So they were all over the place. They did not have a problem walking up to people and things like that. But I looked at the squirrels and just their preparation. I also looked at how playful they were at times. Now, I considered it play. They could have been for real fighting because one person got a nut that the other one wanted. But it looked playful and it looked fun. Can we do that? Can we have some fun? Can you introduce fun into your life in whatever way makes sense for you? But ultimately, can we prepare for rest? The seasons are changing, and if we allow ourselves to be guided by the natural changes, let's prepare for rest. What does that look like? I don't know. It can look different for so many people, but I feel like we get to the fourth quarter of the year and sometimes we look back at what we said we wanted to accomplish and what we want to do, and that amps us up to go, go, go more instead of actually preparing ourselves to hibernate in some ways, to take rest, to rejuvenate, to refuel ourselves. So that's what I leave you with today. Can we learn from the wisdom of the nature and change that's happening around us and lean into some areas that will allow us to embrace change or delight in the small details that are in our lives, to prepare for rest and to let go of some things that we might be holding on to that we don't need right now. So I hope that was helpful. If you embrace this, reach out. We're on all the social media outlets. We would love to hear from you. Until we meet again, you all be well.